welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's new anime called The Rose of Versailles. Have you heard of this? Were you excited to watch this? Let me just say, first and foremost, that this is a musical. So if you're not into musicals and you're not into anime, this is definitely not going to be your cup of tea. But if you want to hear me talking about something that's based on history and based on an anime series and a story that we've seen represented by some really creative creatives like Studio Mappa and an amazing composer, then you might find that you enjoy this. But there's some caveats in here, so let's jump in and talk about it. A couple of negatives out the way. This feels like it needs to be at least 2 series. This movie jumps narratively over a number of years, covering Marie Antoinette. We know the French Revolution, all of that you've seen depicted in many movies and TV series, and it covers all of that. And how it jumps is just between narrative exposition, and sometimes it will, because it's based, I believe, on a musical as well, we'll get narratively dumped exposition through a musical number, which works well in theater when you get to see the full cast doing their ensemble numbers and beautiful dances and singing. And you get amazing singing and dancing, which is a plus in this. The problem is you don't get to see the theater production of it. You get a couple of people that are singing. It's almost like a musical number, not anywhere close to what you would get in a Bollywood number. And that was disappointing because you could hear the expertise between the voice work, which was great in both English and the original Japanese. So I was like, wow. So they've taken the time to record, which must have taken hours, days, weeks, months, to do the full theater ensemble pieces with their voice work, both in English and Japanese. And yet we don't get to see it. It's kind of like a stepping stone to move us on into a different time of history. And really, the story is interesting. Let me give you the quick synopsis here. Oscar Francis, raised as the son of an heir of a general's family, masquerades as a beautiful woman in men's clothing. Marie Antoinette's arriving from neighboring Austria as a bride to become a noble and graceful queen. Oscar's servant and childhood friend, the commoner André Grandier, Hans Axel von Fersen, oh, these names are fantastic, a handsome and intelligent count from Sweden. They met in Versailles, France in the prosperous late 18th century and lived their respective destinies beautifully while being tossed about by the tides of times. So, just in that synopsis, the reason why I read out the whole synopsis, you can hear how many characters they're interacting with, how much of history that they're taking their time to kind of jump in moments, even though it is just under 2 hours. So it is quite long for an anime movie. Normally we get a similar, like, tight 84 minutes, 90 minutes anime movie because it takes a lot of time to animate every frame. So what we have here is an amalgamation of creative talents, but then we get the animation that looks fine. Like, I want to say, because it's Studio Mappa, that each frame is beautiful, and they are, but it feels like we're missing frames. It feels like they put their time into some of the musical moments, but then when they are turning their heads, it feels like kind of those episodes that, you know, that those animes where they throw all of their good stuff in one portion of an episode, but the rest is really not great. It feels like that at times, and I was disappointed in the animation style. It feels like 100% it needed to be 1 or 2 seasons covering a unique perspective using musical numbers. Now, whether that would even be plausible because it's based on a musical and much loved anime, I believe, then I think I don't know that this needed to be made or translate as well as they were hoping. The talent on screen is obvious by some of the shots that you get in here that are beautiful. There is great animation here to watch. But at the same time, I was hoping for more in-depth character analysis. And the problem is, we don't get to really like any of the characters, even the main characters, because it's so cringy. The music in the original and Japanese can't save this movie because the dialogue is so cringy the whole way through the film. Every time they open their mouths, I just, you visibly shake. I think that'll happen for a lot of people with this film. I liked moments of this, but this is not a film I will ever go back to. I don't mind musicals. I don't flock to them. most of the time, but this one just feels like it missed the bar of what it was trying to accomplish. Maybe it's not for my demographic, and I'd love to know if you really enjoyed this. But there's so much going on here. There are so many characters that we don't really get to know because there's so much history on display here. I want to go and watch the theater. That sounds like it's going to be amazing from what I heard, but I didn't get to see it. There are so many good ideas in this, but none of it comes together in the end to form something that is spectacular. So the talent, the creative ensemble, the voice, everything in here should have made this amazing. I'm just not sure it's one that needed to be made. So I'm going to give this 2 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
I guess I was pretty horny.
Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. I know a lot of people have loved this already. A lot of critics are rating this as one of the best, most interesting anime experiences in a long while. This was not for me. Have to be honest, because that's the only way I can be authentic. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.